Hello, Queen of Peace family. So nice to be with you again after about 2 or 3 weeks. We come to you in many different ways. Sunday Mass, as you know, other ways in which you come by here and visit with us for a while. I wanted to just maybe take this little bit of video time now to just kind of have a little conversation about the summertime. This morning at our children's Mass with the students, we had the last official school Mass until the new year begins in September. Next week, the fifth graders will graduate from Queen of Peace. And they had, at the end of the Mass, they have a long several year tradition. At the end of the Mass, the fifth grade class comes and stands in front of the altar facing the student body and the faculty and the parents that are there, and asks each class to stand. And as each class stands, one of the fifth graders reads a kind of blessing prayer over that particular grade. And one of the things they said to the fourth graders, who will be next year's fifth graders, remember that you will be leaders in the school. And immediately the thought that came to my mind, are we putting the school in charge of 10-year-olds? No, of course not. But as I said to the kids, I said, lead by example. Lead by your good example. Good leaders don't just talk about what they would like to the people to do, but they invite people and show them the way. This is the way that Jesus did for us. He not only told us how we can live what God desires, he showed us what that meant by the very sacrifice of his own life. So I encourage the children over the summer to do those kinds of things in their own sort of way, to set a good example for their brothers and sisters and for other people around them, to be very proud of Queen of Peace School that they have come from, and to lead by the way they live. Remember, at the end of Mass, we say, sometimes we say, go now and glorify God by your lives. Glorify God by the way you live. Point the way to God, but the way you live. So as summer comes up for all of us, we might be thinking, well, we're going to have a very different kind of summer, thanks be to God. It's our first post-pandemic summer, a real kind of summer that looks like it will have much more freedom, much more security, because so many people are getting vaccinated. Excuse me. And again, I say, if you personally have not yet got the shot to be vaccinated, please do so if you can. Both older teenagers and on up, through all the way through the rest of ages. The vaccines are available everywhere. Go down to Walgreens, Costco, Safeway. It's a very simple thing to do for your protection and for the protection of everyone around us. So I really urge you to do that this summertime if you haven't done it. Do it as soon as possible so that we can continue to move forward with great confidence. You know, a lot of things I asked the kids also what they could be doing over the summer. And of course, the kids love to answer questions. We always do it during the homily time. So I just, threw it out to them, and I said, what are some of the things that you're grateful for? One of the things we want to be, the kind of attitude we need to have is thankfulness, gratefulness. Gratefulness to God for all the many blessings and the challenges that we have all had, and how we've weathered the storm and come through this. Not particularly without our own personal issues, having to wrestle with those at times, but overall, God has allowed us, blessed us to come to this point, and so we hope and pray that we will learn something from it. And one of the things we learn is just that attitude of thankfulness for all God's blessings. And so the kids would raise their hands, and one of them, with their teachers watching, said, well, I'm going to read over the summer. I said, that's a wonderful thing. And others said, come to church. Very good idea. Come to church not just on Sundays. Not just now and then, but on all Sundays of the summertime. Others said math problems. I said, okay, good luck with the math problems over the summer. But maybe you have a mom or dad who's an accountant or a tax investor or something, and works that way, so you can learn from them. And so they went on and on about all kinds of things. And one of the memories that I have of summertime growing up in the family was playing baseball over the summer behind our house on the south suburbs in the farther south side of Chicago. We had a large open field behind our house, and it was great for playing baseball. So we did that. I always wanted to be the batter. I never wanted to be the pitcher. I'm a lousy throw with the ball. But being the batter or be at the first base was a lot of fun. So one of the things we do, we have fun. We have fun in the summertime. Fun in God's creation, in the beautiful opportunity that we have. And so we can spend this summer, I think, in a more constructive kind of way. If we adopt to ourselves that attitude of gratitude, attitude of thankfulness, we can look around us about all the opportunities that we have, not only as citizens of this country, but as men and women of faith, where God brings us, the strength of our faith that gets us through the times, and how important that is. Not only that we live our faith, maybe this summer in a new and richer way. Pray more. Spend a little more time in personal prayer. Go out and take a walk on a beautiful day. Pray the rosary as you're walking. We mentioned that once before. Read the scriptures a little more. Pick up a spiritual reading book of some kind. Open your mind and heart maybe to the biography of a particular saint that you don't know a great deal about, but may be very popular. If you want to find books on St. Francis of Assisi, for example, you can find many biographies, and St. Therese of Lisieux. These are wonderful spiritual giants of our Christian Catholic faith that you can learn a great deal from over the summer months. Other things, of course, we want to take our vacations, and we want to let those vacations be a relaxing time. Next week, I'm going on vacation with family at the coast, so very much looking forward to that. And yes, I do deserve it. During the vacation, it's a family time often. It's a wonderful time to bond with family on a more significant, deeper level. One of the memories I have is growing up in the family, we looked forward, if we were going to be on vacation over a weekend, a Sunday Mass, we looked forward to looking to where the closest Catholic church was to where we were going to be. And then we would go to the Sunday Mass, and we would talk about sometimes either how similar or how different it was from our parish back home. And it was a good time. We look forward to that. One time we went to a Catholic church in Kentucky. We went to the Smoky Mountains in Kentucky as a family, and my mom and dad had honeymooned in the Smoky Mountains after their wedding. So it was kind of nostalgic for them. So they came with their children. And so we went to this little country church, and after Mass they had an ice cream social, and they invited us to come and be part of their ice cream social. It was a small country parish. We didn't do that. We didn't have time. We appreciated it. But for about the next couple of years, we kept hearing from that parish, obviously looking for financial donations. And I think Mom and Dad probably sent them something, just in thankfulness for their hospitality. So that's all part of wonderful summer memories that we can learn from. The value of hospitality, the value of community, how important that is, I think, in this pandemic time. One of the things we've learned to value more, hopefully, not only the richness of our faith, but also the wealth and the beauty of one another, how important community is for us. For such a long time, we were not able to attend Mass. Church was closed down. We've opened gradually over time. Many of you continue to come. We'll continue to live stream the Mass, but we notice that the number of people watching the Mass has gone down because many of you have been coming, and that's fine. We can do many things with the live stream, especially once we get the new camera in July. Ordinary time of our liturgical year is a very rich time of the scriptures. The Sunday scriptures unfold certain themes. I remember one year, I think it may come up next year in the cycle, but we had about 4 or 5 Sundays on Jesus' discourse on the bread of life. So it was a great opportunity to reflect on the Mass, parts of the Mass. So I may do something like that again this year, looking at the readings, what's coming up, kind of section them into certain parts to reflect on those things that might be familiar to us, but try to come to a more fuller understanding. Social events. We have great social events besides your vacations, family get-togethers. We here at the parish, Father Carey has a talk toward the end of June. I think it's the 25th or 26th of June. Father Carey has a presentation in the evening. July 3rd is a kind of a parish picnic and somebody's birthday party, even though the birthday is really July 4th. So I'm going to call it a goodbye 60s party. So we hope you can come to that if you're in town for that weekend. And then Father Louis from Mount Angel has a presentation on St. Joseph, kind of a day retreat on a Saturday in July. Invited to that. Men's activities. There's a lot of activities going on, not only for our faith life, but to bond together again on a social level, to realize the value of how God has designed us to be with one another. Reading, the kids mentioned reading, and all for that. Not only the scriptures, as I mentioned, but I love history, and I know a lot of you do too, or whatever kind of favorite novel or history book you might have. Just suggestions. Here's that book I mentioned in a homily, Undaunted Courage. It's the story of the Oregon Trail, Lewis and Clark. It's a classic book on that particular topic. Yes, this will keep you busy over the summer, but it's an easy read. It's fascinating reading. And another one, David McCullough. It's called The Greater Journey. He's written quite a few books on American history. And this was a whole period of history I didn't know about, that in the 18th, 19th century, many Americans would go to France, and Paris in particular, to learn art, medicine, culture, and to bring that back to the United States. So David McCullough does a very interesting job. Again, it's a nice long read, but it's an easy read. It's a like historical novel. So I'm just suggesting things that you might want to. It doesn't have to all be churchy stuff, but to round out our life, certainly our faith. God is always number one, around which our whole life lives. But God has created us in great diversity and many opportunities that are given to us. So I would just say, use this summer constructively. I just wrote down a little line here. I said, be grateful, be kind to one another, be generous, be forgiving, and be holy. Be grateful, be kind to one another, be generous, be forgiving, and be holy. And may God bless you all, and we'll continue to see all of you over the summer. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.